So, what is one way that we can build and keep relationships from falling apart?
Well, first of all, we have to start off with what the relationship started on. Then you get a ground of where you're going. But let's just building. We have to, in my opinion, I feel like we have to take whatever our insecurities are and throw them in the trunk or the trash can, because those are the things that's deterring us away from good things sometimes.
And when you say insecurities are tearing a relationship apart, what type of insecurities?
All right, so basically the first thing that happens is you got a significant other and you find out they talk to somebody or have dealt with them in a physical form. The first thing you do is start to question yourself. You start to second guess yourself. You start saying, well, what is it about that other person that's better than me? Reason why my significant other chose them. But if we was to secure ourselves and realize that we still are who we are, and what our significant other may have did wasn't an intention to hurt us,
That's true.
we could get past some of that stuff.
But of course, we are going to actually look at ourselves as we're not good enough. So, what are some ways that we can reassure ourselves that we are good enough for this particular person? It's just where they were at that moment, they just wanted to branch out and try something different.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say because I can't relate to people with low self-esteem or a small amount of thinking about themselves. Like I'm super confident about Chris.
All right,
Okay,
now.
I'm so confident. Sometimes it might get confused with conceited, right?
Right.
But my confidence comes from my preparation over the years. If I see a guy doing wrong, all right, I know not to do that. If I see how women reacting to certain things, I know not to do that to cause that reaction. Like preparation has built my confidence. I'm very sure about myself.
So for me, I would say one of the best ways that we can keep relationships from being torn down is we gotta get off of social media or stop allowing social media to provide unrealistic expectations for our partners and our significant others. A lot of times you get on social media and you see what's good, what they post, and you don't really see the bad that's going on, and you want to go over there and, like the old saying goes, the grass is greener where you water it at, not just on the other side of the fence. So stop unrealistic comparisons and expectations, first of all. And I think that would help build relationships, because I feel like once we started looking at the expectations that we have for, like, honestly, I feel like women set the bar. You know, depending on what women want is how the men are gonna act. Being a good boy, being, you know what I'm saying, smart and stuff, when I was growing up, that was frowned upon, that was laughed at, you know what I'm saying? They wanted the thugs. So now you got so many people who acting like thugs, who didn't come from that type of background, who grew up, you know what I'm saying, in the church, but they doing what would get them a woman, because ain't nobody trying to be lonely. So that's my take.
That's true. I agree with you on that when you said social media, because I know this girl, she was saying that she was looking at her friend's relationship and saying that she was telling her husband, well, look at how affectionate he is with her. You're not affectionate with me, you know. But the husband was like, I may not be affectionate, but I'm providing for you. I put you in a home. I've got you a car. You haven't had to work at all. So this is my love language. So that comparison will kill a relationship.
Well, I mean, I know for a fact guys or men doesn't have a superpower of listening. Like we'll hear you, but we ain't listening. And I'm saying that coming from a man, because I have to mentally focus on listening. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause a lot of times a woman will tell you certain things that you need to know in the future, but if you ain't listening, and you'll start doing that stuff, and it'll make her start to look another way. I'm only speaking from a male perspective, right? Because I don't really know how women feel.
No, you're right. You're absolutely correct. I mean, a woman will tell you X, Y, and Z, and she's gonna give you ample amount of time to get it right. And if you don't get it right, then yes, she's gonna take her heart out of it, and then after she take her heart out of it, she's gone after it. So that's true.
But I think it mainly boils down to communication at the end of the day, because just like you said, it does have a lot to do with listening. And thinking back in a relationship that I was in that were my fault, that it was the end of it, it really came down to listening. And I started like thinking back, but I wanted to be heard more than I wanted to listen. But something else I realized too, when you're with the right kind of person, because my last relationship was a little bit different. I was okay with listening, but it is kind of a way like you have to make them feel comfortable to listen to you versus just you demanding somebody to listen to you. So I guess when you on like a certain frequency with each other, it don't feel demanding, you don't feel demeaned, you don't feel less because you shut the fuck up or like that word and listen. So
Yeah.
definitely into communication and influence heavily with the social media stuff. And I feel I've been guilty of that myself too.
So yeah, I want you to